You have a great journey. You have a big vision, a treasure, an odyssey that you can conquer, but you have a lot of obstacles in the way, and that may give you some doubts. That is normal. Been there, done that. We all are in that space sometimes in our life, but we do not respond in the same way. And that is what it's all about. That is what determines success versus failure, is how you respond. How you respond to the stimulus. So in this video, my objective is that you will reflect on your own life and in your own journey, in your own goals, how to respond better to doubt, to fear, to the natural human tendency of staying on the comfort zone. And I will do this not by giving you a lecture about it, but giving you a little bit of a personal story, right? We are humans, and we are storytellers. We are story machines. That is how our brain develops, with stories. Naturally, this is from our old origins. And so, yeah, it's going to be a personal story. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let me do my work. Let me do my coaching with you. My name is Dr. Derek Israel. I'm a coach, I'm a life coach, and I am sharing content on social media on English. This is my second language and my second brand. My primary language is Spanish. Saludo a todos los que hablan español. Aquí mi nombre es Dr. Derek Israel. Así que esta es mi verdadera voz. La otra pues es simplemente el lenguaje secundario. If you didn't understand the hell what I said, it doesn't matter. you didn't miss anything important. So I said that I love you. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. So yeah, I am sharing a lot of content on YouTube, short videos, but now I'm starting to share longer formats. So stay tuned, subscribe if this is the first experience with me, and if you enjoy it, and let's see what can I do for you, for your growth. So dude, let me share you a little bit of my journey when I decided to start my second brand on English. The obstacles that I needed to face in order to do this, and all the demons and conservative comfort zone ideas that were preventing me to do this in the first place, and what I did to say, you know what, I will do it, let's go. So the first thing is the most obvious. It's the elephant under the bed, and it's the language barrier to starting an English brand. So I was born in Lajas, Puerto Rico. Lajas, Puerto Rico. If you don't know what is Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. It's not a state, but it's a territory that is in the Caribbean, very near to Cuba, very near to Dominican Republic. It's the smaller of those. I believe it's the smaller of those islands, and so in that island, I was born in one of the most rural place, country type, right? It's not a city; it's like a countryside of the island in the southwest part. There's a lot of beaches there and stuff like that. But also, when I was born, it was like a type of a forest type place, rural, a lot of trees, and so yes, I was very disconnected from modern society and English and pop culture and globalism. I was not like a primitive. I had internet, I had cell phones, I was not poor, I was in the middle class. I don't want to paint the grown picture. But what I wanted to say is that a lot of people in Puerto Rico, they know a lot of English. They know because they are in San Juan, Puerto Rico, in the capital. They have, good money and they can go to private schools. I didn't have those privileges. I went to public school. Yes, I received some English classes there, but very minimal, like only dog, cat, green, and tree. Only 4 words in 12 years. And I'm just kidding, but very basic, very basic, very basic, almost no conversational English. And but yes, I understood something. And so I was raised there. So it was a challenge for me first to be able to develop my Spanish language, although I have good capacities for developing language, specifically in Spanish. But when I went to university, I started to reading more, and I started to sophisticate my Spanish language. So I became very articulated in the Spanish language. But then I had a huge opportunity. So I signed with the ROTC of my university, and that is basically the army of the university. You're a cadet, you're not a soldier. And I went to some trainings in the United States, and everything was in English, even it was in Puerto Rico. And there I had to exponentially grow my English, right? And start to developing more English. So I did that, kind of like a middle level English. Some people understand me. Some of their cadets told me like, Ortiz, because my name is, my last name is Ortiz. Ortiz, what? I don't understand. I was like, the pillow cover, the pillow cover. That is an old story. I don't know if it is funny enough, but I didn't know how to say, and even to this day, I don't know how to say, the cover in which you cover the pillow. Maybe it's pillow cover. Maybe I'm right. But I remember that once in the training of the army, I was in front of the platoon because I was the leader of that platoon in that specific day. And the instructions was about to tell them, I had to tell them to clean their rooms, and specifically I had to tell them to watch the pillow cover. But I forgot the word, the specific word, and I say pillow cover, and everyone started laughing at me. And I love it. I didn't feel bad. They were not humiliating me, nothing like that. It was just funny. They said back in the day I had the most funny accent in the world. Now, like 5 or 6 years, how many? No, like 7 years later, or 8 years later, I know that I have a funny accent, but it is nothing compared to 7 years ago. Believe me. Back in the day, I had more a funnier accent, right? So for me, that was a very challengeful experience, but I developed a lot of English. Then, what I did was to start reading everything in English, everything in English, everything in English, everything in English. So I read hundred personal development, psychology, mindset, spirituality, business, marketing, books, everything in English. And I went to a university in Puerto Rico that is based on the United States. So although the classes are on Spanish and I was a PhD student, we were allowed to write on English. So I went out of my comfort zone and I started writing my doctoral dissertation and all my projects, all my research, all in English, just to force my brain to adopt the new system, the new language, because better languages creates better realities. So I was pushing forward. And then I had the most transformative, well, two more experiences has been transformative in my language. The next one is that I decided that I want to be doing my clinical internship on the United States. I decided that because I was afraid of doing it. And if I am afraid of doing something, I must do it. That is the only way that I will grow. If I penetrate resistance and I go and conquer whatever I'm doubting to do. So I applied to a couple of internships and I got accepted in the Colorado Department of Corrections and as a clinical psychology intern. And I went there, and obviously it was a transformative experience. And there I can say that I improved my language, my English language, to a point that is not only understandable, I believe, but also complex. Because here's the thing, and here's the one of the challenges. My ideas are complex, folks. Very complex, very multidimensional. I can see a lot of variables and the synergies, the emergencies, and the connections, the foundations, the practical applications. And I can think about it and I see the images on my mind, but also I think on language, but the language is on Spanish. So I try to put all that complexity in a system that is very simple, my English. So if I don't have a lot of nuances to express the infinite dimensions and complexities of the idea that I want to transmit sometimes, right? And in Spanish, although sometimes the language it is itself short, because always the idea will be bigger than the language, because the language is a tool. The idea is the principle, is something that transcends the tool. So although in Spanish I have more complexity and more understanding and more language power, sometimes it felt short as well, um, on the transmission of the idea. But here I have this simple language and I'm trying to express complex ideas with these tools that I have on English, and I didn't do it. I could not do it. Didn't have the capacity to do it very well. But after that internship in Colorado Corrections, I developed a better lexic and a better vocabulary and tools and complexity of the English language in order for me at least to operate in a 65 to 70% of my power in the communication. Okay? So I know that it's not good enough. I'm pushing forward, baby. And in a couple of years, my language will be more advanced and the content will be better. But I'm just telling you a little bit of my journey and the struggles and the doubts and my journey. So after that, what I did is that I became a psychologist and I became a coach and I started my English brand, right? Not this brand, but I combined my Spanish brand with English and I started doing bilingual content. I had a podcast that is mostly on Spanish that is called the Mastermind Podcast, although I have this title on English. And I did like 150 episodes on in English, 1 hour every day. I lost almost my entire audience. It was Spanish speaking, and I lost almost all of them because a couple of things. People didn't know English. I was struggling with the language, so the content was not the best quality. A lot of factors, but I went all in and I do it because I knew that this was my new frontier. But then I realized it's not working. It's not working to having this English brand inserted in the already existing Spanish brand. So what I did is I split them and I create this brand that you are seeing right now, all English, no other language. And this has been my new iteration and my new transformation in my English language because I have been practicing. I have done at this point like 500 videos, and I start from zero, right? In a couple of months, I start this brand on October. This video is on April, so maybe 5 months, something like that, maybe 6. So I have done 1 minute, only 1 minute videos, like 500 of them, and now I'm starting to do more large formats. So this has been the next step for me, like to be open, to launch myself, and to bring this content and my coaching to you guys, to this new community that I'm creating here. So a couple of obstacles that I have to face and to overcome was first the language barrier. Second, start by zero. I'm still have a very good business on the Spanish community. I have a lot of fans, a lot of students, a lot of clients, and I was comfortable there. I didn't have to do this. But what is personal development? the continuous pushing forward of your potential, right? Of your expansion. And I knew that if I just stay on one language, I was missing most of the world. Most of the world was not hearing my proposal, my marketing, my ideas, my drive, my energy, what I can bring to your table if you give me the opportunity to listen to me, to explore the ideas, to be coached by me, to be my client, to be my reader, to be my listener, whatever it is. I was missing that potential just by staying in the comfort zone, and that is not negotiable. I understood that my next level was to become an global coach. Okay, not only one community, one language. No, global coach. What is the global language? English. So what I had to do? I had to learn better English, and I have to launch. Some of the challenges that also I have been facing is that I know that my English is not perfect. And I know that sometimes I make mistakes and I say mistakes. But what I hope is, one, to develop a better language in my way, in my journey. And the second thing, for you to be patient and for you to try to understand the root of the idea. Don't be one of those that is like, oh, he said a wrong word there, and although I understood the idea, because it's a wrong word, I don't care about the idea. Don't be like that. If I say the wrong word, but you understood the whole idea, focus on the idea, baby, because the idea is gonna be the one that will bring you a new dimension of possibility for your life to make a new course of action. A new course of action that can bring you a new result on your life. So don't be so anal. Don't be so anal in your approach with me. Understand, I'm a foreign coach. And that's cool. I'm an exotic coach. Why do you want a coach that was born in your neighborhood? You don't want that. You want a guy from another culture. You want a guy from another spirituality. You want a guy from another perspective, from another race, from another genes, from another multiverse. That is what can change your life and your point of view and your existing schemes. I can bring that to your life. And I'm not saying that you need to lose your existing coaches. Maybe you listen to Tony Robbins. Maybe you listen to Leo Gura. Maybe you listen to what else? Who else? Sadhguru. Keep them. But add me in that repertory. I'm bringing a new proposal. I'm original. I'm creative. I'm a supernova. And I'm pushing forward. And I'm trying for you to push forward as well in your own stuff. I have been facing criticisms, and I start here. People making fun of my language, blah, 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 blah. Not a lot. I used to believe, oh my God, this is going to be so hard sometimes. I have received like 10 comments maybe in 500 videos. And not only in YouTube, in TikTok as well. And I post this on Instagram. I post this on Facebook. And also now in Clapper. So like maybe 10 or 15 comments, negative comments. Like, man, for example, let me say I will never forget this one. A guy was making fun of me because I pronounced voice as boys. Like, boys, like girls and boys. And I said, it was a video about how to have a very projective voice when you're on leadership, how to project your voice in order to impact your audience, your community, your listeners. And I said, project your voice. And the guy was, oh, guys, he said boys with B. And I was like in the other side, like, okay. So is this what I was fearing? I was like, I can handle this. This is a, yes, I did this mistake. Who cares? Most people understood the idea. I'm not perfect. This is my second language. I'm a human. Okay. You see, so then I realized when I received that comment, I think that that was my most beautiful comment. And I have received hundreds of comments, positive comments of you guys. Like, thank you for this vibration. Thank you for this inspiration. Thank you for this motivation. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But for all of those comments, although I love the positive ones, that negative ones about the voice boy stuff was instructful for me, educative for me. I became wiser because of that. Why? Because I understood that I can handle this type of criticism. I'm still alive. So that gave me more confidence to continue pushing with this brand, continue learning, and to acknowledge and to be vulnerable enough to know that I'm not perfect. You see. So what is the pragmatical element of this video? You have your own journey. Maybe you're not going to open a new business and brand in another language. Maybe that is not your journey. But whatever it is your goal and your journey, you will face obstacles there. And you need to be willing to make some errors, to be vulnerable and to face them head on and to improve forward. That's the way to success. There's no shortcut to success. Success is the continual realization of stuff that sucks. There's a new definition, huh? You didn't know that one, huh? So yeah, boy. I hope that this video inspired you to do something that you're afraid to do. If you want help to do it, hire me as your coach. My name is Dr. Derek Israel, and I have been coaching people for 7 years. And I can help you to achieve your goals in an efficient, fun, and rapid way. That's what I do. That's my life purpose. I do this every day of my life, even when I'm out of my comfort, as I am today. But this is the path. This is the hero journey. This is how God learns to love himself. So thank you for being here. Please share this video with someone or in your socials. Leave a comment. I want to know you about what do you think about this video or about your journey. Maybe I can give you a good tip, a good coaching in the comment sections. And if you want me to be your coach, just go to the description. There's a link to apply for a free consultation with me, and then you decide if you want to hire me as your personal coach. Thank you for everything, and I see you in the next one.